Nick, how you doing this fine Sunday evening?
We're fighting, aren't we? We're in the trenches right now. I'm good. I'm pretty excited. I don't know. I've gone a whole week without talking about the Lions. A couple things have happened. Hard Knocks is right around the corner. Was it Jamal Williams giving that speech in the trailer, just gassing me up for no reason? Happy to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, I can't wait for Hard Knocks to start. Hard Knocks is literally like the one thing other than training camp, preseason, just football in general that I've been waiting so long for. And I can't wait to actually watch that very first episode. So I'm looking forward to that. And obviously, since we're talking about Hard Knocks, let's actually jump straight into it. I mean, Hard Knocks being right around the corner. Obviously, you saw the trailer just like I did. I mean, what are you really that most excited about with Hard Knocks?
There's so many things. My friends and I, it feels like for the last 5-6 years, every single season that comes and it goes, there's more and more Hard Knocks. We've always sat there and been, man, it'd be cool if they did the Lions. It'd be cool if something happened in Detroit and then the Lions were on Hard Knocks and it was like a season like this where there's positivity. Choking to death over here. There's positivity in the air. There's kind of a direction, like people, as good as you can feel about the Detroit Lions, like people feel pretty good. I mean, Dan Campbell is perfect. He might just be a Hollywood plant for all we know. He's perfect for it. Brad Holmes is interesting to me too. Like he's made good moves. He's credited with a lot of the Rams' success. I'm excited to learn more about him. Obviously, the players, you guys, Hutchinson, Okudah bouncing back, and we'll talk about them more. But I think the number one thing, I don't know if they will do it, but it's something that I would be very interested to see, is getting Sheila Ford Hamp or Hamp Ford, whichever order it is, getting her involved. Like, I'd like to learn a little bit about her. I don't know, being the owner of a football team, like you probably don't really want to go on Hard Knocks, I would assume. But I don't know. I don't know how it works. She seems pretty cool. She seems level-headed. I think things have gotten better since she took over. She made the right decision with Patricia when the time came for that. I'd like to learn more about her. I don't know, just see how she is, right? Like learn about her personality, how she thinks, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm gassed up for everything. I can't wait.
I mean, I'm totally there with you. I mean, I just want to see everything. I truly do. I mean, for so long, I mean, because the Lions have not been on Hard Knocks ever, like the inside of Lions organization, inside of the team, how it operates and everything else, it's been an enigma. It's been a mystery. And it's like, dude, I want to be able to pull back some of those layers of mystery and actually get an understanding of the team, how it operates, how the organization actually does its job. I really want to see that. But I mean, for me, while you're wanting to see a little bit more of Sheila Hamp, I mean, I think that she's done a great job too. And I mean, obviously Coach Campbell, I mean, he's going to be a soundbite a minute. I'm telling you this right now. Like they're going to have more sound bites of Coach Campbell probably than any other coach that's been on Hard Knocks in history.
Big for sure.
I mean, for me, I think I'm more excited about just the progression of these players. I mean, we've heard all these reports that have been coming out about how well these players have been doing in camp, whether it was in OTAs, then mini camp in the spring, and now in training camp through the first week. We've heard a lot of good reports about players, whether it's been, like you said earlier, Okudah or Hutchinson. We've also heard good things about Jared Goff. We've heard good things about DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, Penei Sewell. We've heard good things practically all around. There's not been a whole lot of negative as far as these players not like measuring up, not actually performing up to expectations. Now, I will say this, there is a slight caveat with it. These guys don't have pads on just yet. I mean, some of them have soft shell pads, what so forth. But for the most part, it's still non-padded practice. So I'm keeping that in mind. But it's like, listen, from what I've been hearing, all the news reports, it's like there's a lot of reason for optimism. There's a lot of reason for excitement out of Allen Park. And I really can't wait to see more.
Yeah, I also love, like we mentioned the trailer, just that clip, like football aside, of Dan Campbell hitting the down-ups with him. Like, come on, man. That's awesome. That's what I want. Because we know the players to a fair extent, I would say. If you watch them year over year, like, you know what you got for the most part. I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely.
The culture and like the team that they've built, right? because it feels a little different where Matt Patricia, it was more professional and like, hey, I'm punching in and punching out for this guy. Dan Campbell, I don't know. It's like everybody's fired up to be there. Everybody seems like they believe in what they're doing. They believe in the guy that's leading them. Like they want to win for a lot of things, but they want to win for him to prove him right. That's awesome to see, especially coming off Patricia. But like, yeah, I just warms my heart. Really does.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you just listen to all these guys. I mean, DeAndre Swift said it. Jared Goff has said it. And so many other players have said it. They just want to win. They just want to win. Like, they want to win for each other. They want to win for the city of Detroit. They want to win for Dan Campbell. It's like, listen, we just want to win. That's all we care about is just winning. And it's like, listen, when you take all the other white noise out, you take all the other distractions out, and you just focus on one singular goal, you would be surprised how much easier it is to actually fulfill that goal when everyone is working towards one common purpose, just win. And I think that Dan Campbell has given this team that kind of a focus. It's like, listen, forget what everyone else is saying. Forget this same old Lions talk. Forget about what the national analysts are saying. Forget what people think about us. We know how good we are. We know what we can do. Just focus on winning. Put the work in. Just focus on winning. And that message has literally been the same message Dan Campbell has had since day one he's been in the building. And the players have bought in hook, line, and sinker.
That kind of energy, too, is so contagious. When you walk into a place or you're on a team or you're doing something and everybody's in the same boat, like you can feel it in the air. There's an electricity in there. You want to be better at whatever it is you're doing for those people. You want to work harder. You want to practice longer. You want to do this, that, the other thing, study the playbook. It rubs off on people, and it doesn't show up in the 40 time. It doesn't show up how many times you bench press, but it's there, and it's very, very meaningful. And the last thing I need to get off my chest about that video, Jamal Williams is just lighting it up in the huddle, and he's going, we're going to lock the cages, and they're stuck with us. That's why I get out of bed in the morning, is to hear my favorite football team living with that mantra and that attitude. Yes, Jamal, give me Green Bay and lock them in the cage, and let's see what happens.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, like I said, the sound bites we're going to get from Dan Campbell and Jamal Williams, like, dude, those sound bites will, in my mind, they will be infamous, because those guys, when they say it, like, they truly mean it, and it's coming straight from the heart, and they are just all about passion. They're all about excitement. They truly believe what they're talking about, and that makes my job, makes your job so much easier and so much better. It's like, listen, we don't have to try and put a positive spin on it. It's already there. These guys literally, they truly believe it, and all we got to do is talk about it. It makes it that much easier. So I'm glad that the trailer is out, and I can't wait to actually watch the first episode coming out here on August 9th. So everybody get your popcorn ready. August 9th is going to be a fun time.
I can't wait.
Absolutely. I can't wait either. Let's transition now to two players that we talked about previously really quickly. We talked about Aiden Hutchinson and Jeff Okudah. So we're going to talk about each one individually and split it up here. So, I mean, obviously, man, let's talk about Aiden Hutchinson. The kid is a beast. Like, dude, I get it. No pads. I get it. You're wanting to pump the brakes. You're wanting to keep the enthusiasm going through the roof. But it's like, man, it's like, give the kid the due credit he deserves. He's beating Penei Sewell in practice, man. It's like Penei Sewell was one of the best rookie tackles last year, and he's going out there and he's making him grasp for air. He's beating him, and in some ways, he's kind of making Penei Sewell look foolish, because it's like, hey, last year he was the new kid on the block that everybody thought was really good. Now Aiden Hutchinson comes in and it's like, oh, you thought he was good? Hold my beer. Here I come.
Imagine those two. You get to practice against that guy every single day. Both of them are going to be so much better, not only this year, but their entire careers. Because right now, that's the guy they practice against. Bro, you better bring it if you're either of them. And Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, we need him. Like, him being good changes the team, I think. We've needed a pass
Couldn't agree more.
for so long. And I love the movie, the storytelling aspect of it. Like, grew up around Detroit, went to Michigan. They won that. Go Green. They went to Michigan and they won the Big Ten. And then he gets drafted by his hometown team, the Detroit Lions, who have a history of misery. And it's like, dude, you could be the guy that helps change that. That would be unbelievable. It's awesome reading that he did do it well.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, again, you just, like I said a couple of minutes ago, you take a look at all of these players that have done really, really well in their own individual positions. We're talking about Hutchinson right now, but like I said, you talk about Jared Goff, you talk about DeAndre Swift, you talk about the wide receivers that have looked really good. DJ Chark, Quintus Cephas, like all these players are doing really, really, really good. But the fact that Aiden Hutchinson, who is a rookie, and granted he was the second overall rookie that was taken, the fact that he's doing so well so early, that just blows my mind. It's like, listen, yes, I get it. He was the second overall pick. You want him to be good, but it's like, I didn't expect that he was going to be this good this early. It's like, man, it's like, I can't wait for him to put the pads on, because it's like, dude, when the pads go on, we've already heard about his motor. We've already heard about his work ethic. You can imagine when those pads go on, it's going to go up an extra 100%, and you're good luck to the person across from him trying to block it. It's going to be a fun thing to see.
Those guys change games too. That's what I'm just so fired up about, is like, you get an elite pass rusher, your defense exponentially gets better. I don't know outside of the QB position if there's another position that changes the game more if you have elite talent there, that defensive end.
I would agree with that. I mean, the defensive end, like you take a look at some of the best defensive ends or edge rushers in the game. The Bosa brothers are one. And it's like, dude, whenever those guys are on the field, they transform defenses because they can single-handedly just disrupt the offense, whether it's getting to the quarterback, getting in the backfield for tackles for losses. And it's like, dude, I think Aiden Hutchinson can be just be as every bit as good as those guys. Now, granted, I'm not saying he's going to do that this first year. If he does, please, by all means, let's just enshrine him right now. But it's like, dude, it's like, I'm expecting him to have a good rookie season. I really am. But the way we're going to quantify it, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually get down to. But just how good he's looked in camp, it's like, dude, I just cannot wait to actually see what this kid can do once we're in a full-on game situation. And it's like, okay, practice is over. Putting up with having to stop when the coach says to is done. It's like, no. Now it's full live go. It's like, dude, until you hear that whistle blow, it's game on.
Yeah, it's very exciting having him on the team. And what's crazy is that's a treat enough. Like, we have one awesome rookie, high draft pick, high expectations to look forward to. Jamison Williams is going to be very, very exciting when he gets in there. He's like, that's going to be a big day. The first game, his debut in the Honolulu Blue, that's a big day on the calendar.
I can't wait to see Jamison Williams play the first game. I really can't, because, again, I like the way this offense is built. So we'll talk about Jamison Williams here really quickly, but when I take a look at what Jamison Williams can realistically do for this offense, like what he truly can do, it's like, dude, this offense with him on the field, it is just absolutely a monster. It's a monster, because think about it. You've got DJ Chark, who's one burner, and then you've got all these other wide receivers that can play intermediate routes, and they can start spreading the ball out, whether it's to Josh Reynolds, whether it's to Quintus Cephas, whether it's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can include TJ Hawkinson in there, and it's like just the list goes on. And then all of a sudden, you try to cover all those options, and then you throw a healthy speed demon athletic freak like Jamison Williams into the mix. It's like, dude, it's like, there's no way. It's like, there's no way you can double cover anybody. It's like, as soon as you do, somebody else is going to be open. And I have I've said this before, but it's like, dude, Jared Goff with this offensive line and this wide receiver core, he could literally sit back there, make himself a turkey sandwich, flip through the news section, and still probably find somebody open and complete the pass with just how much talent is around him. And when you add Jamison Williams into there, it's like, dude, you might as well just throw the towel in, dude. It's like, there's no way you're going to be able to cover everybody and take away every single option. It's like, good luck with our offense. And again, when Jamison Williams comes back, that's when it's going to be a really, truly special thing, just like seeing Aiden Hutchinson in his first game.
The guy straight up is an antelope. Like, it doesn't eat the lines across grass. It doesn't make any sense. And the pieces on the offense, the pieces are.
Oh, I totally agree. The offense,
The map.
the offense is going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah. It's. Oh, I'm getting excited. I can't. We're super close, but I feel like I can touch it. I feel like football. It's like tomorrow. It's so close yet so far away.
I sit here and I think to myself, I'm like, hey, are there any of those Adam Sandler remotes around? And I can just fast forward until game day. Can I just do that? Like, does anyone have one for sale?
There you go. You got to go to the Bed Bath and Beyond and talk to Christopher Walken. That's how you get one.
Yeah, go to the Beyond section.
They should have it in the back.
Yep, there's maybe one left. But all right, let's talk about Jeff Okudah here. And again, I mean, you've heard me say it before, I'm really, really gunning for Jeff Okudah. I want this kid to perform really badly. I want him to shut the haters up. I want him to be able to say, listen, there was a reason you guys drafted me 3rd overall. It's like, you stuck with me, you hung with me, you listened to all the criticism about me, and it's like, I'm here, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to let you know I'm putting the whole NFL on notice that, hey, I'm actually that shutdown corner. I had a couple of bad breaks, but it's like, listen, man, I'm now here. Because all of the news reports we're hearing out of Allen Park is like, listen, Jeff Okudah has come back with a vengeance. Like, all of the work he put in this offseason for his rehab to get physically healthy, I attribute nothing short of a miracle, because the fact that he was ready to go day 1 of training camp after tearing his Achilles, it's like, dude, it's like that the dedication, the diligence that he had to put in to be ready to go day 1 of training camp, there's nothing like it. That's one of those stories where it's like, okay, this dude is he's really out to prove something.
Right. He is a guy where I'm more so like I'll believe it when I see it a little bit, just because I don't know. It's been a few years now, and he has had bad breaks and things. But that said, I'm absolutely 1,000% pulling for him. I'm excited to see what he does as well, and hearing stuff like that, like the guy wants it so bad. He wants to live up to the hype more than anybody on the planet, and he's putting in the time and the effort. How do you not root for that guy, right? So I'd love to see him bounce back too. It's almost like having another rookie,
I mean, in essence, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Jeff Okudah played 10 games his rookie year, and then he was out with injury. He played 1 game last year and then was out the whole season with injury. He hasn't even played 1 full NFL season. So in essence, yeah, it's almost like he still is a rookie in terms of time he's played in the NFL. But even if you just take a look from that technicality, it's just like the sheer enthusiasm and optimism and excitement that's around Jeff Okudah, because he is, in essence, that underdog. He's that underdog that everybody's just saying, oh, he'll find some way to get hurt again. He's not going to be able to make it. And it's like, dude, it's like that kind of criticism, or rather that kind of skepticism, I should say, it just fuels him. It's like, dude, it's like, you keep doubting me, but it's like, I'm telling you, just wait and see. I get it. Like you said, we have to wait and see what he's going to do. We have to watch. But it's like, I've got nothing but high hype and hope for Jeff Okudah. I truly, truly think that he is going to do really, really well for the Detroit Lions this year. I just can't wait to see him actually do it.
He's a guy that deserves it 100%.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with all of the criticism he's gone through, all of the freaking adversity he's gone through, I mean, it's like there's nobody on that team that deserves to succeed more than him just because of that. The only other guy that might come close might be Jared Goff, because of all the criticism he got when he was in LA, and then when he come out here. I mean,
a lot of people that have something to prove, like even the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. I feel maybe not so much Brad Holmes, but Dan Campbell has kind of been questioned, like by national media and stuff like that. And all these guys are listing, like they got a little extra something for wanting to be good. Like they want to win just a little bit more. All these guys, they want to be good just a little bit more. And
absolutely,
those people make stuff happen.
I mean, when you have a chip on your shoulder and you have a motivation more so than just, hey, I'm collecting a paycheck. Hey, I'm here in the NFL. I completed a childhood dream. When you have that motivation because somebody's doubted you or somebody has said that they don't think you can measure up anymore, it's like, dude, it's like that really puts a fire under people. And it's like, oh, okay, you think I can't do this anymore. You think I'm washed up. You think I'm a has-been. It's like, okay, just you watch, just you wait. It's my time to prove you wrong. And I mean, you're talking about Dan Campbell. I mean, if we're going to talk about Dan Campbell proving people wrong or addressing some national critics, we got to take a look right now with the most recent news that's come out about the Lions from Terrell Crosby, a former left tackle of all players. I mean, literally today or just yesterday, he put out a news report that he in essence said that the Lions, they don't care about their players and that Dan Campbell pretty much didn't care about the fact that Terrell Crosby was dealing with an injury and they just threw him out there and made things worse. And it's like, wait a minute here, man. It's like, are you sure you're talking about the same head coach? You sure you're talking about a guy that literally cried when his team lost because he wanted him to win that bad? I'm like, I think you've got this person that you're talking about mistaken. I don't think this is the same coach because it's like, I can't see how Dan Campbell would deliberately just say, oh, I don't care if you're hurt. You're going to go out and play anyway. It's like that just does not sound like Dan Campbell to me. It sounds almost preposterous to even think about it.
I know. I saw that story the other day and I was like, is he talking about Dan Campbell? Like, there's no way, right? It's interesting, right? Like, I don't think Tyrell Crosby is lying. I don't think he would lie, right? But Dan Campbell does not seem like the type of guy who would do something like that. Like he, right away, especially in that season, like you don't need Tyrell Crosby. You're not going anywhere. Dan Campbell's a smart guy. Like he understands that. I mean, like why in the world would you go? No, you got to play. Like why? You're.
I mean, you just
or whatever.
You just think about it. Like, how many times did we hear Dan Campbell say, he's like, listen, we're going to be smart with this guy's injury. We're going to be smart. We're not going to rush him back. We're not going to put him in harm's way. And it's like, he says that about all these other players, and somehow Terrell Crosby is the exception to the rule. It's like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, that almost sounds like double talk.
Yeah, exactly. It's so strange. I'd love to hear what happened, hear some context. Ideally, that's never going to happen probably. But I don't know. I don't understand it. It makes no sense.
I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, the thing about it is that Terrell Crosby, before we drafted Penei Sewell, he was in essence a starting tackle for us on the offensive line. And that when he was injured and when we eventually decided to move on from him, that was in essence the motivation that we went with for drafting Penei Sewell, because we had a glaring need at tackle. So it's like, for me, it's like I don't really think that Dan Campbell would deliberately decide, you know what, I'm going to put one of my starters potentially to get hurt even worse, threaten not only his career, but his ability to live a normal life, because football's a violent game. You can have a small injury turn into a very devastating injury. It's like, that does not sound like Dan Campbell. And there is no way in this life or next, heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it, that I could ever believe that that's from Dan Campbell. Not unless I heard a voice recording or some transcript somewhere that somebody has squirreled away. There's no way I'm ever going to believe that. And again, I'm not saying Terrell Crosby's a liar, but it's like, to insinuate that that's Dan Campbell is like, dude, I think somewhere along the line, maybe he heard something wrong, maybe he misunderstood something, or he's referring to somebody else. It's like to kind of insinuate that Dan Campbell and the Lions just simply don't care about players. It's like I'm having a really hard time grasping that one.
Yeah. It also is weird because, like we were saying, they seem to be gelling so well. Like the locker room seems to love him. But if they found that out, they would not love him. Like, right? Like if you're a player and he just did that to one of your other players, they're like, that's going to happen to me. They cannot be cool with that if that happens.
No, I mean, what?
It makes it even more confusing.
Well, that's the thing. Football players, in essence, are brotherhood. Like, for them, it's like, listen, at the end of the day, we might play for different teams. We might play different positions. We might play on different sides of the ball, but we're all football players. We all bust our humps. We all put in the work. It's like, we're not going to turn on each other. And likewise, we're not going to let somebody deliberately put us in harm's way and just let that slide and think that's cool.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, to your point, it's like, listen, Dan Campbell has the love and respect of that locker room. It's like, dude, if they found out or they knew that that was going on, it's like, dude, there's no way they would stand for that. So it's like, I can't buy that story. I think there's something else going on. I think that maybe Terrell Crosby is referring to a different coach, because it's like, dude, I can't fathom, I can't imagine, even in my imagination, that Dan Campbell would walk up to Terrell Crosby and say, hey man, I know you're hurt, but I don't care. I need you to go out and play anyway. It's like, dude, there's just no way. There's no way I'm going to buy that story.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it definitely doesn't make sense, but yeah, there has to be some kind of misunderstanding, but I hope it's not true. I mean, it's sad. I don't know. I don't know though, because even at the rumor of it, like that came out a few days ago, sometime early this past week. That story.
I mean, as far as I know, I think it came out like yesterday or something. I think it was a relatively new breaking story. I mean, it might have broke a little earlier and they just picked up.
I
don't know. The fact that literally came out such a short time ago, it's like, dude, it's like, okay, if that truly was the case, it's like, why didn't you say something earlier? It's like, you had the ability to go on social media, the ability to say something. It's like, why would you wait until 18 months later to say something? It's like, if they truly had done you wrong, there's a reason why you have the NFL Players Association that can speak on your behalf for those kinds of injustices. I find it just kind of ironic that he would wait 18 months before he would actually say something like that, because in essence, what he's saying is a very serious accusation. What he's saying is that the Lions overlooked medical advice and pretty much put him in harm's way, which that's a huge problem. And it's like, you waited 18 months before you said something. It's like, I'm finding that really hard to believe that there's some truth in that statement. It's just, I don't know. Again, I'm not calling him a liar. It's just the context, the statements. It's very confusing. It's very suspect.
Yeah, I agree. It's so strange. I don't know. I also like why Terrell Crosby. Wait, it's a little suspicious with Hard Knocks coming out. Like, why did they wait? Why do you wait for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe is there a chance that it's like a ploy to drum up interest and for Hard Knocks to like jack up the ratings? Conspiracy, a Hard Knocks conspiracy. Because honestly, why do you wait 18 months?
I don't have a clue, man. But you know what? I don't want to keep on this topic. This is like a Debbie Downer topic. Yeah. And we started on such a high note with speaking about Hard Knocks and Aiden Hutchinson. And you know what? I think we should end that way. I'm just going to say this. I can't wait for Hard Knocks, and I can't wait to have the episode with you next week where we're going to actually sit down, break down, and talk about Hard Knocks and all of the goodies that we're going to get to see. Like, I can't wait for that. That is going to be one. That's going to be one fun episode.
I can't for like some action. Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. But until then, folks, we're just going to have to wait another week. But until then, this has been Pride or Die with Nick Bradley and David Pike. And you know what? We'll be here next week, same time. Until then, Pride or Die, maybe.
Or die.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?